Так, ідея цього мітапу у нас народилася спонтанно. В п'ятницю ми її придумали, а в понеділок вже почали втілювати. Дівчата розкажуть нам про свій спосіб життя, про те, як можна жити легко, не виходити на роботу з 8 до 8, про те, як можна подорожувати і при цьому ще заробляти гроші. На це.
Особливо останній частини.
Знайомтесь, будь ласка, це Янін і Валерія.
Янтін?
Янчин.
Янтін.
Янчин.
Yes. І я хочу... У нас тут не презентація, у нас буде підбірка фотографій, просто для того, щоб вас розважати. Тому я впевнена, що ми проводимо це у Львові перший раз. Ми не знаємо, які у вас очікування. І нам би хотілося, у нас є свій план, але ми тут не для себе, ми тут для вас. І тому, якщо у вас є якесь представлення, про що ви хочете сьогодні почути, ви скажіть мені, будь ласка, зараз, тому ми будемо підганяти нашу доповідь. Чи є якісь? Так?
Мене цікавить, як можна продуктивно суміщати і роботу, і подорожі, для того, щоб там не було ніяких поки.
Прекрасно. Ще?
Мені цікаво, як ви вибираєте місця, куди поїхати, де працювати.
Добре. Ще? Sorry, I will translate.
Yes, please.
Забулися спитати, хто не знає українською.
So first question was like how to make a balance between work and life.
Yeah.
So that there to be balanced and not like one side. Yeah. Not fucked up the work. And the second question, how should you place where to go? Yeah. What criteria you use? You sure?
The question is why, the motivation. Why always traveling, moving?
Why we do that? Good question. That?
Well, you like work almost time. Like hunting. You love hunting, like hunting.
Love country.
Yeah.
Okay. Love country. And?
Хотів спитати, як завжди забезпечувати себе мобільним зв'язком або Wi-Fi.
Добре, як how to be online all the time? Find Wi-Fi and stay. Ще?
І як було б найкраще спланувати подорож для початківця, який хоче об'їхати весь світ, але не знає, які країни варто оминати. Я чув недавно, що в Бразилію варто взагалі не їхати, типу людям, які не мають досвіду.
Добре. Also, like which countries to go? So for beginners, where to start from? Like how to plan your trip in advance, but you don't know yet. Дякую. Тому я передаю зараз слово Янтін. Спочатку вона розповість свою історію, як вона почала бути номадом, потім розповім я. І потім ми будемо трошки більш інтерактивному варіанті відповідати на питання, які ви тільки що розповіли. Добре? Тому this is Jantian from Netherlands. Вибачте, no. I want to say something. So, я хочу вам сказати, як ми взагалі познайомилися і тут опинилися. У квітні цього року ми опинилися на великому круїзі, який плив з Іспанії до Греції, і ми ніколи з Янтін не розмовляли. Навіть коли ми прибули до Афін, ми також ніколи не розмовляли. І тільки коли ми опинилися у Болгарії, у Плавді, дуже маленьке містечко in the middle of nowhere, і ми вперше опинилися за одним столом і мали таку нормальну бесіду. І після цього, десь через декілька тижнів, Янтін зі мною написав мені, що які плани в мене на липень, і чи хочу я приєднатися до її планів подорожувати разом. Тому і так ми опинилися у Будапешті, і потім ми приїхали сюди разом. І це тільки маленький приклад, як номади знаходять друг друга, один одного, і як вони стають друзями. Тому, живучи декілька тижнів разом, ми вже знайшли дуже добрий зв'язок. І спочатку ми мали дуже хороший такий зв'язок один з одним. Тому зараз ми подружки. А тепер передаю слово.
So what did you say?
I told her how we met each other. Like,
Okay,
that we
yeah.
came from a nomad cruise, we never talked to each other, and then after that we also never talked to each other. And then we in Bulgaria we finally came into the one table and like had a very normal conversation, and then
Yes.
came home.
Yeah, and that's like good to start with because we talked maybe for 1 hour, and afterwards I was like, it's cool that she really loves to work as well and to see something. And I actually texted Valery afterwards, like, I want to spend the summer with you because I have the feeling that we have the same values. We want to work a lot, and we also want to see a bit from the country. So that's how, like, you really have to choose who you want to hang out with, so that it's not just a holiday. And I think that's like why we are here now.
Ви комфортно з англійською?
Can everyone understand?
You can maybe a bit slowly.
Yeah. Should I slow it down? And if people don't understand, maybe you can translate.
Yeah.
Just raise your hand if there's a question because you don't understand what I'm saying. Okay? So yeah, I'm Jantiens, I'm from the Netherlands, 29, and I'm a full-time nomad now for 1 year, but I've been traveling from when I was 20, I think. But it's actually a funny story because I grew up at a farm, and until I was 17, I've never been abroad. So we never traveled with the family, I've never been on a holiday. And then I saved money and I went on a holiday with my friends. We were going to Croatia. Going with the bus from the Netherlands to Croatia, that's quite an adventure on itself. And I remember that everyone was complaining in the bus, like, oh, I'm tired and it's way too long, the bus ride. And I was just like, this is so cool, like I'm going to see something of the world. And I already thought that the bus ride itself was really exciting. And after that holiday, I want to go see more again. Is it too quick?
No.
Is it okay? Maybe you have problems.
Yeah, I have.
So I started saving money. At that time I was working as a hairdresser, and I was working a lot, like in the evenings and the weekends, just to save money so I could travel again. And first it was just like the summer holidays, and after a while I traveled more. I went to the United States doing a road trip there. I studied in South Africa. I decided to study journalism because I felt like I want to do a bit more adventurous work. So I studied journalism, and I went to Southeast Asia to go backpacking. And a few years ago I even went to Australia for a full year to work and travel there. But every time I was traveling, I felt restless because I felt like I want to do something as well. I don't just want to travel. I felt too ambitious. I wanted to really be productive. And every time I was at home, I felt like, oh, I really, really want to see something of the world. Like I can't just sit here doing my work. So I had an office job a few years ago. And during that office job, I felt like, oh, my energy was just going down all the time. And I went on a holiday to Peru, and I remember that I came back, I walked back into the office and my boss said, so that was your holiday for this year. And I almost started crying. I went home and I told my boyfriend, I'm going to quit, I'm leaving the job. And that's the moment I started for myself. I had no clue what I could do, but I just started writing my own travel blog. And from there on, companies actually saw that I could write, so they started asking me to write for them. I earned a little bit of money with that, like a few newspapers asked me to write columns for them, so I was just making a little bit of an income. And 2 years ago, I decided to write a book. So I published my first book last year, and that's when money was coming in a bit better, and people actually got to know me. So especially I'm from a really small village in the Netherlands, and the people in the region really started to know me, and I got invited by a lot of companies to work for them or work with them. Like they wanted to promote the region, and I was sort of helping like companies and government promoting the region that I was living in. So it was really cool that I could actually work for myself and having an income. But I really started missing traveling. And I was living together with my boyfriend, and he had the plan to live bigger, buy a bigger house, bigger car, everything bigger. And I was like, I don't want to spend my money on stuff. I want to spend my money on experiences. So I made the really difficult decision to leave him behind, pack my bag, and so last year I just left. And I had to figure it all out again, like how do I actually have a business while traveling. So I had my business in the Netherlands, but it was not only in the Netherlands, it was based on being in the Netherlands. I had to be there for the job that I was doing. So when I left, I had no clue how to make money, but I just thought like I need to be on the road. And I booked a ticket for the Nomad cruise. This is me on the Nomad cruise actually. That's well organized this. I booked a ticket for the Nomad cruise, and that's a really big conference at sea. And there were 250 digital nomads there for 2 weeks. We traveled all the way from Spain to Panama, and no internet on board. It's just networking, like 2 weeks of networking, meeting people, doing workshops. I was giving a workshop, and so I got a lot of information from that. People knew like how to make money online, and that really helped me starting my life as a digital nomad. But still, from then on, like it's a struggle. Like, how do you actually make money online? Some people have it figured out probably, but I think it's a big adventure, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, at the moment I'm traveling full time. Now and then I go back to the Netherlands because still like my network is there, and it helps me if I'm there like a few times a year just to meet people, and then I leave again. And I'm making money now with selling my book, with giving trainings a lot. Like when I'm in the Netherlands, I always organize trainings, masterclasses in creative writing. I write for a newspaper, for a magazine, and I'm writing my second book now. So that's for me the way to make income, but the best income is still when I'm in the Netherlands, and I really try to make that an online business now. So make it like now I actually have to be there, but I can do the training online probably as well. So that's something that I'm still figuring out now. And that's my story for so far. I'm curious, are there already questions? Not yet?
No, one question. When you started traveling, did you already have a plan how you will be organizing your business without being in one place? Or was it just like...
I would advise people to make a plan, but I didn't. Like, I don't plan my life at all, and that's not really a wise thing to do, but it's just the way that I guess. Yeah? Yes? Yes.
How long did it take for you to get the first income?
Together?
Get the initial income once you started traveling?
Well, it's still like this, so I wouldn't say that I have a really stable income now. I don't know, like, there are ways to get a stable income, like passive income. That's one of the main things that most of the nomads try to get, and I can't really say like there's a time frame for that. I think it works out differently for everyone. And for me, what I said, like I can, if I'm in the Netherlands, it's so easy to make money, but on the road, it's still a challenge. So,
We can continue with the other questions like after that.
yeah. I think we should go.
І тепер я не знаю, як вам мову розмовляти. Може, тому що в нас є одна людина, яка розмовляє англійською мовою, але може вам як краще, щоб англійською чи українською?
Своїми словами.
А?
Своїми словами.
То останнім часом я розмовляю в основному тільки на англійській мові, тому що мені може, але зараз я навіть комфортно відчуваю себе українською мовою. А? Де англійською?
А я буду українською, а як хочете.
А?
А я буду українською.
Ти будеш українською. So, we actually decided I'm going to speak English.
Oh, happy for you.
So this is really nice, and so my story was a bit different, and I would say that everyone's story for every nomad is really different. There is no one way you can get there. And I grew up in Kiev, in a big city, and I'm 31 now. And I used to think that I'm a city girl, and I like city life, like New York, London, like this. I wanted to build a huge career in international companies. That was my goal and direction for a long time. And I did that. I really went through that way, and I spent like working like 8 years in the big companies, and I used to work in lifestyle for 3 years, and then I used to work in Nike for 4 years. And now I wanted to leave the country just to relocate myself somewhere else. So, but I really had a feeling that I wanted to see how this world look like, and how other people think, and what they do, their mindset, and I was really curious about that. And so, but you know, Ukrainian salary, even if you have a nice career, it doesn't mean that you have enough income, and that doesn't mean that you have enough savings, which I didn't have. And at some point, like, my life was really beautiful because I had pretty cool job, I had pretty cool colleagues, I had a fiance, I was going to get married, I had really exciting lifestyle in Kiev. I had everything what I needed, and then at some point this crisis came into Ukraine. You know what happened like 3 years ago? Like salaries dropped down super low, and I realized I'm super poor girl, but I cannot even afford my apartment and car anymore. And I was like, this is not fair because I put so many hours and I don't get anything back. And I had really feeling that I want to go away, but I didn't have money to go away. And I felt that I even don't want to apply for any companies in Europe because I would have to work again super hard, and I was super exhausted. So I decided I just need to go to a nice place like Thailand and work maybe for free, but for shelter and food. And I started to search volunteer job, and then at some point that was really big struggle, and then at some point I found a job as a community manager in co-working space in Thailand. And when I told my colleagues that I'm going away to work as a volunteer just for food and room, they would like say in Thailand for 5 months. They say I'm crazy, and they told me horrible stories what could happen to me. You know, that like I will be closed somewhere, or somebody they will do something to me. And that was really like last days before I left was really hard because I started to believe in that can something happen to me. So I left Ukraine with a $2,000 US for 5 months. You know, when you volunteer, you still have something to buy your own things. And when I entered to the co-working space, I couldn't believe that actually how lucky I am, because this is kind of a paradise. And the paradise is because I've met there during 5 months or more than 200 nomads from different countries, and they're super amazing and interesting personalities who travel all the time and earn money online. And when you hear the stories that people just travel for 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you just can't believe in that. But I really could relate myself to that lifestyle, what they told me about it. So, and English, when I left, I had really struggled because sometimes I was sitting with the people and my mind was switched off because I couldn't understand anything anymore. But after 3 months being there and talking every day to people, I realized that I can easily understand everyone. And it was super amazing feeling. Like you spent so many years on English, and then you finally can talk and freely understand everyone. And then on the first months, I found the first my remote job with the support of my new friends. That was a company in Hong Kong as a client service. And they were like, okay, so I found a great job for $1,000 US, which is not enough at all, but good for start. And I cancelled my ticket back home, and I booked ticket to Hong Kong. And I spent 1 month in Hong Kong to meet my colleagues and everything. And after that, I went to Bali, which was the most the happiest months in my life. Like in Bali, it's really, when people tell you about Bali, this is everything true. This is really amazing place to be. And in Hong Kong, I fell in love with one guy from Holland actually, and we after that traveled together for 10 months in Europe, and then we went to Myanmar, Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, Bali, Thailand together. Then we came back to Europe. So at some point I stopped working for my company because everything changed in Hong Kong. And then when I came back to Ukraine, I was like, okay, so what I'm going to do now? This is my work before was completely related to retail. So I used to work with shops and retail, which is very physical and nothing online. And then I got into chatbots. So I wanted to go to IT market. So because IT companies and IT startups will allow you more easily to work remotely, which was my priority. And I realized that chatbots is a new market, and I can become a project manager if I go to courses, and its market is growing, so I have a lot of possibilities to do so. And I got a first chatbot project back in Ukraine for Ukrainian companies. I was like, oh, this is a great start. And then I posted in a Facebook group bots the message that I want to become internship in a company that creates chatbots for several months as a project manager. That's how I got to company bot press, that like in 2 days. So I got a lot of interviews during these 2 days, and I said that being location independent and be working remotely is key thing for me. So if they agree, I would happy to do work for them. And they actually really liked my story, and that I was really flexible and traveling around and knowing a lot of people around. So I got this job, which allowed me to be a nomad at the moment. And they really support what I'm doing. So the main rule is just I work from Monday to Friday, and I really protect my working hours, doesn't matter what. So I really work the whole day, and then whenever I'm enjoying the place in the evening and weekends. So, and as a company, really people are distributed in these different areas, I actually don't have to be in Ukraine anymore. And in the end, so this my story, I left 2.5 years ago, and during that time, I found this way of life really that really changed me in a way that I became more stronger person. You know, when you leave Ukraine, you just leave the whole social structure that push on you, and you don't have to. I didn't have to fit to expectations of my colleagues or to companies. And when I left in Thailand, the first time in my life, I felt myself like who I am, like in reality, and like who I am, and I can be completely free. And that was an amazing feeling of what you can get from this lifestyle. And I think that I don't want to go back to normal office lifestyle just because of this. Because when I come back to Kiev, I already feel that people living completely. They have a lot of this fashion, like how you should look like, how you should behave, what should you talk, like how should you work, like a lot of expectations that I don't want to fit to myself, to fit me. I do not fit to them. And I really like being in the world, just be free and be with the people I like and be in the places that I like.
Brilliant.
So this is, yeah, I think I'm done. Yeah, and then
Questions?
we can straight away actually answer the questions what we had. How was actually English? Did you understand me everything or you just?
Yeah.
I'm also curious just to know a bit about you. Like, I just heard from someone like having left Ukraine that who of you has never been outside of Ukraine anymore? Oh, then it was by accident. Like, oh me. No, but like it's good to know because what I said, I haven't been out of the Netherlands until I was 17, and I really felt like, oh, I would never travel the world, you know. And whatever like is now is not like it's not what the future will look like. It doesn't have to be.
Yes, that's for sure. And so, yeah, before that, I wrote blogs about this working, living, travelers, but I could never relate myself until I actually left the country and met this kind of people. And it just, my world changed when I started to talk to them. And I couldn't realize myself doing that. So the question actually, why? Can I start from that? I think I answered. No.
Can we summarize that in some way? So you
I think
like
it's
traveling?
mainly what you said is that it's about the feeling that you get on the way that you feel more yourself, right? For you?
Yes,
The
yeah,
freedom?
like two things that I really like enjoying my life. Like I really like feeling myself happy. Not like I'm okay, but I really feel like from truly happiness. And traveling gives a lot of this experience and happiness. And then I love meeting people from all over the world because they give you so many information, valuable, that you have never read anywhere. It's just sharing experience, how they live, what they do, what their habits, what their values. And third is the freedom. Yeah, it's just I do not own, like I can do whatever I want. Like okay, I'm limited, of course. I have some limits, but in general, I can choose environment and people for myself where I feel the most comfortable. And I go away and I run away from people and places that influence me when I feel really bad. Like for example, Hong Kong is super great city, super amazing, a lot of people, but after 1 month I felt really tired all the time and I felt a little bit depressed, like because that city didn't bring me any energy. And when I left to Bali, like in 1 month, it's completely changed. I just woke up like a completely happy person. And yeah, in some cities, like for example Budapest, I don't feel any happiness there. But in Athens, I really loved it. Just you go out and you feel happy. You?
I think I have a really strong urge for freedom. I always had that I just really want to decide myself what to do. Like, I always thought that I just didn't like working, but it's because I don't like anyone telling me what to do. I just want to decide myself what I want to do, where I want to do that, with who I want to do that, and like I have all the freedom now. Even though like it is a struggle, like I have the freedom, but it means that I have the responsibility as well. But I rather have that than not having freedom. So that's for me the main thing. Yeah.
It's all about Wi-Fi.
Sorry?
Wi-Fi. How to make stable connection all the time in different countries.
So I think the main thing is that I mostly live in cities or in places where there are a lot of nomads and co-working spaces. And I rather choose smaller cities because I think a big city can really drain you. Like it's tiring to live in a really big city. It's hard to meet people or get close to people, and so I think if you go to smaller cities, mostly the Wi-Fi is good, but you're still like really easily connected with nature as well. It's easy to go out. So if you go there, like, and go to co-working spaces or finding the right coffee shops, and it's easy to find a good spot with Wi-Fi. I think the main thing that is difficult is islands. Like on an island, mostly the Wi-Fi is shitty.
You also can, like before you go to the trip, there is a website, Nomad List, and they have data about all the cities and places, and the rank of how high the Wi-Fi is there. So just don't go to the places, like I wouldn't go to Cuba to work because the internet is shit there. I wouldn't go to to the islands or to places, remote places where there is no internet. I will make sure that I have a proper place to work and like proper internet that you can Google and be sure that you can work from there. And it's enough. Or even if you, like, for example, go to Airbnb, you can always ask the owner to make a test for you how fast the internet will come. So you know that you can do connection. How to choose the
what are the criteria that how you choose the country besides internet? Maybe you have some.
I actually just wrote a blog about it, so I still have it in my head. For me, what I said, like not too big of cities. I look if there are people around who I already know. Like when I was backpacking, I was totally fine with being on my own because I like my full day existed about like meeting people. That was what I was doing. Like you go backpacking to meet people, but if you're a nomad, you're working during the day, so you don't want to be too busy to meet people all the time. So it's nice that you already know a few people, and that you know that there are, like what I said, good co-working spaces. For me, I love warm weather. I would not go to a country where it's cold at the moment. So I think these are a few criteria. The right people, Wi-Fi, weather.
I think that you personally really have a freedom to choose where you want to go and what country fits to your budget. And Wi-Fi, internet is an important thing. And like, if you like big cities, go to big cities. If you like nature, go to nature. If you want to avoid people, go to the places where no digital nomads. If you want to meet digital nomads, there are some cities where there are a lot of like good communities, so go there. So usually it happens like if I think like where to go, it also depends on ticket. I go to Skyscanner or Kiwi and start to search where is the cheap flight to, and from that cheap flight I discover if I have a nice place to live in. So if these two match, I discover if there is somebody also there or somebody is going there. So if there is nobody there, maybe sometimes I'm not so motivated to go. Or if I want to be alone a bit. So if cheap tickets and good place to stay, nice place that I like, you know, it's that I like, okay, let's do that. Or it depends on, sometimes I participate conferences also. I have a plan on conference and I'm think like from there, where can I go? You just open a map, open a Skyscanner, open Airbnb, and you know, compare these three things together, and this place is coming up. But often, it happens without your wish. It often happens because somebody tells you, let's go to Budapest.
I just think.
Or like, let's move from Athens to Santorini. And because other 50 people going, you just going also because you don't want to stay alone in Athens. So it's really magic happens when you follow these people and community and go with them, and you just explore more things that you would do explore yourself.
Did you use and what you think about Couchsurfing?
Couchsurf?
Yeah.
Have you ever used this?
I've tried it when I was backpacking, but I thought it was always difficult to actually find a place where you're both committed. For me, as like when I travel, I really, because it's not on you're not on holiday. You need a really good place to sleep. You need a bit of privacy as well because you're already seeing people all the time. So I find it really important to have actually a nice place to stay. So I always book Airbnbs. That you just like sometimes like now we are sharing an apartment. Sometimes I share an apartment with 6 or 8 people, and sometimes just like with 2. And but it's nice to really have your own spot. Like I couldn't live in hostels now or couch surfing. Like you're really living in someone's house, so you actually have to follow someone's rules maybe in the house, and then you still don't have the freedom to do what you want. And you should see it as it's not that you're on a holiday, you go somewhere to a different city and you have your work routine there. So I like it that I can actually have a good night rest and do all the things that I want to do without being bothered. So I want to have a nice apartment to live in.
Do you think about this ability to settle down sometimes? Because road and traveling is like drugs. More you travel, more you want. And sometimes, and if there is some relationship in future, have to do. Oh, I understand. When you travel, you change, and your needs change. But how do you feel about this?
I feel that like I feel more restless when I try to settle down than when I live this lifestyle. Maybe there comes a point. I think that maybe I would like to have a home base somewhere within a few years. So some place where I can get back to. But I think I would never stop traveling because it's just so in my blood, I guess. So it would be nice maybe one day to have a place where I can actually go like a few months a year, and from there on travel on. But I don't see myself really settling down as in buying a big house. And what about you?
I think maybe if I go, like, there are some countries in my wish list, and maybe after that, maybe I will consider. But it's really hard to stop. Yes, I would say that I really miss like-minded people around me when I settle down, or even I stay a long time in Kiev, or even I stay a long time. Like I tried to live in Netherlands, and I really felt that I miss these people like Jantiens, and like it just these people that really understand you. I was staying with my friends in Amsterdam, who are really also open-minded, but their like questions, not understanding questions, really make me feel feeling that I'm doing something wrong. And, I'm like I'm wrong. I'm feeling like, and then I left and like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing what I want to do, and I think it's not only about place, but it's also about the community. If I want to settle down, I definitely will stay in a place where there are still a lot of people that understand me well, and just I feel comfortable there. And also the thing is, digital nomads, it's not people who only travel and just have fun. No, it's actually the people who really research a lot. They learn a lot. Like they're really ambitious. Understand that you have to work and research new things, know a lot of things to be able to keep this going. And compared to stable life, they know a lot of things. They read a lot. They see a lot. They're educated people. They're super interesting people to be surrounded with. So yeah, I think that at some point I will have children maybe and family. So but I would rather to choose a partner who will be very flexible and have the same values as I do. Yeah.
You said for example, you have no plan, for traveling. How it's gonna be? It's okay if it's such as you are. But do you have some kind of idea or vision where you're gonna to be? Yeah. Because the name of event says that digital nomad is the highest level of freelance. Is it?
If that is the highest
Is that the highest?
of what?
The highest level of freelance.
Freelance. Oh yeah, I didn't even know that it was named that way. That was Ukrainian.
Is that the highest level, or you have idea what is the higher?
I don't think it's a competition.
Yeah, I think it's not a competition. Maybe a higher means like experience, on a way of experience. That's really very personal meaning, yeah. But I think it's really.
But I don't really understand like highest level of freelance.
So we also
like,
confused.
Do you have some idea, or if you don't have a plan, do you have an idea who you're gonna be in 2 years?
in 2 years. I hope that like I think I would like to have a home base somewhere in Europe, probably in the south of Europe, and from there like still travel. Like I already dreamed about it as a kid that I never want to be in Europe in the winter. So I think like the winters I would spend in South America or South Africa, and the summers in Europe. I think that's, and then like for work, I'm giving a lot of trainings now, and that's like, I'm super excited about that. Like that's my main income project I'm working on. So I hope I can do that anywhere in the world. Like now I do it mostly in the Netherlands, and I hope like within 2 years that I could give trainings everywhere in the world, and then I can just choose one. So that's sort of a plan, right?
Yeah, I can. My plan, I don't have any plan, and
It's the same question.
Huh?
It's the same question.
Yes, that I told you that I don't have any plan. So I have a direction that I still want to keep my vocational independence, and like work related. I really found that what I'm doing now I really like, and I really like the company I work for. So I'm planning to stuck to this company as long as they want me to be stuck to that. And and also like in the long term, of course I believe that you getting tired from traveling. You really do, and it's like up and downs. And in the future, I know that I want to have my own educational project for kids in Ukraine, but that I have in my mind that it's growing there. And I think that maybe after 5 years or something, that I will make a complete picture. And you know, to do so, I need to go back to Ukraine and be physically in Ukraine. That I'm not ready to do yet. So this is my kind of direction. We wanted actually to. Do we want to talk about struggles?
Well, do you want to hear the struggles? I don't know if people want to hear it.
Yes, struggles.
Yeah? The
Some
difficulties?
problems, yes.
Yeah, drama?
Some drama. Sorry, and one more thing. I think when you travel, I really have a very strong feeling of building some passive income that and constantly searching some passive source of income that will allow me to be money free if I will stop doing what I'm doing. And this also nomads really helps, because a lot of people are trying to do the same. Because you just want to be free, and when you go outside of Kiev or Ukraine, like Ukraine is super limited place to earn money where, and as soon as you go outside of Ukraine, you realize that actually earning money is not so big a deal, and actually it's not so hard to work, to do business, to do online business, and have enough income for living and traveling. This looks like really hard when you are here, but as soon as you go there, if you will go to any event or digital nomads, you will be amazed how many things can be done, and it's not that hard when you go outside of.
It really feels like you can make a business out of anything. right?
Exactly. And you can, and also you feel like you can do anything you want to do. So if you really believe in something, here I felt like in Ukraine that always I have felt pressure that you cannot do that, you cannot do that, you don't have skills for that, you are limited in that, you are not experienced in that. This is kind of bullshit because through practice or through learning yourself from just wish and very good motivation, you understand that you can do anything you want.
Not anything,
but a lot of things. And even if it doesn't happen so fast, if you keep going a little bit to your direction, it will happen.
Yeah, I always believe that first you just start doing it and you will see it on the way. Like that's what I've been doing with anything I do at the moment. So I know some people will feel really stressed when they do it. So if you are someone who feels stressed of the idea, don't do it. But for me, with everything I've been doing, like first I just start doing it and then I discover if I'm actually good at it. So just try it out. And that's with being a nomad as well. A lot of people think that that you should have it all figured out before you go. But I would say just start small, like go to a few events, like go to the Nomad Cruise or to another Nomad event, start connecting with other nomads, and from there on just see if it fits you and if you like it, and you don't have to have it all figured out before you leave, because you can figure it out on the way. Just go and maybe start small, say like, okay, this month I want to try to work in another place, maybe for 1 month you pick a city and then you go back. And if you really like that, from there you can go on, instead of having this idea that from the moment you start you have to have it all figured out, and because then it's way too scary to start.
Yeah, I have 2 more things to say. That first, it's not scary to go away because you know always that you come back. But actually, you never want to go back. You really like do a lot of things just to not go back, or go back when you want to go back, not when you have to go back. And the second one, if you want to go start travel, I do not recommend you go start travel with your work, because as soon as you go, you know, you're so excited about so many things and you will be very distracted. I would recommend that you can just take a break for at least 2-3 months, at least. Even, I would say 2 months is even not enough. 3 better, 4 even better. So, you know, you do it all you want, you hike, you move every day, you meet people, you party, you like lie on the beach, you know, just enjoy your life, just think about your life. And then at some point will come a feeling that you just don't want to go anywhere. You're fed up with the traveling, you're fed up with the moving, and only think you wanna adjust your laptop and see the whole day doing your own thing. And this is the moment when you have to start to like working, because you're not distracted anymore by the sea outside or the nature outside, because really, if you're hungry for this, you need to satisfy your hungriness first and then start working. Otherwise, it will doesn't.
And it also depends with who you're traveling. Like if you're traveling with people who are there just to travel or to party, it's impossible. Just don't do that. Yeah. Find people who actually have a job as well and work, like they really want to get shit done and go to a co-working and get up early in the morning and really do it.
Like we last 2 weeks, like we wake up, we go to coffee or to working, we work, we have lunch, then we work again, then we eat, we go for a walk somewhere, talk, dinner, and then we come back and actually continue doing our stuff. So we are coming back, and it's really nice to have this balance and very productive atmosphere where we live. And like on weekends, we can go on like explore places around, like swim in a lake, you know. So about struggles. Yeah.
Struggles, what does it mean?
Difficulties.
Трудности, которые встречаются на пути. We found one struggle with a friendship this week. Well, we discussed a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult that you have like you build a new life around you. So you keep meeting people every day and you get new friends in your life, but you still have your life in the, like for me in the Netherlands. So sometimes it feels like living a double life that you have to keep up with everything because I don't wanna, I wanna stay in contact with my family and with my friends at home. But I also have new friends and I wanna really enjoy the moment. I don't wanna be busy with home all the time. So I really feel that it's really difficult to keep up with everything. And that's what we discussed this week, that like sometimes it feels like it could be your day job already to just like keep in contact with everyone. So I find it really important to set priorities and really like choose who you want to spend time with and who you want to invest in. So I have like a few friends in the Netherlands that I really invest time in, and same with my family, and a few people on the way that I keep connecting with. I think that's really important that you just, because at a certain point you get overwhelmed because you meet people every day and you have so many connections, that you really decide, okay, who do I actually want to spend time with in the future as well, and I want to put my energy there and not all over the place. And I think that's like really important to find a balance in that. So that's a struggle that I had this week actually.
Yeah, and we discussed that when you like contact your friends back home and you ask like, hey, how are you doing? And what you would say, yeah, fine. Like, what's new? Yeah, nothing special, same. And then they ask you, and like during the last even week, I had like stories to tell. Like not every day, but at least every week have things to do. If it doesn't happen anything, I create them. I go, and so it's kind of not balanced anymore. Things like emotions and adventure, experience and vibe that you have with friends. And after that, I feel even a bit guilty. Talk to my friends because I don't feel comfortable anymore to share what life I have, and they feel uncomfortable because they don't want to have this life first of all, and like they don't want to listen to my stories. But I have, but on the other hand, I have now connection with a lot of people that I lost connection, and each time we actually found that we have the same values, and they really understand me well, and the opposite, that I found a lot of people that I'm super happy to renew our connection because I started to travel. Loneliness?
Yeah, that's like a question that we get quite a lot. If it's not like if we don't feel lonely on the way, what would you say?
Yeah, I would say that so lonely means like I know that some people they completely don't have any problems with the loneliness. They like to be alone all the time. They like to be lost in the world, to do their own things and do not meet people. It's completely not about me and Jantiens. And I realize that I can't stay without people because I'm losing a lot of my energy. And I got a lot of energy and inspiration from people. So when I stayed 1 week, I was all the time with my friend, and then he left, and I stayed 1 week in Sarajevo in Bosnia alone. And that was after several months of being around the people. I had really depressed. Seriously, felt so shitty. I felt like nobody loves me anymore, and nobody interested anymore, and like I don't have friends anymore. Even it's not true completely, because I have a lot of friends that I love, but that was like a kind of very hard feeling that I had to over, and of course it's fine. And when I went from there to Budapest, people, and it's like disappeared, this loneliness, but sometimes it happens.
And I find it like one of the hardest things, I think, is that you meet people that you really connect with, and I think especially when you're as a digital nomad, you connect with people really easily because you live together mostly. So like now we we didn't know each other for like 2 or 3 months ago, and now we live together. So you get really close, and then like Saturday we both go a different way again, and it's just like all about learning, getting to know people and saying goodbye again. So that can be really tough. Like keep saying goodbye, and I think that makes it sometimes a little bit lonely. That you feel like you have friends everywhere, but still like you have to follow your own path, and that means that sometimes you're alone. And yeah, that can feel.
Do you interested to hear about source of income? Так, как зарабатывать деньги?
Yes.
How to make money?
How to make money?
Do you work on any local jobs? Like, I know, when you come to some country and they have, I know, restaurant, like Valery did in Thailand, in that co-working?
This is not like, you're actually not making money there, but you can. But this is not digital nomadism. Some people travel like this. They go to the place.
Different. It is a bit different when you are really digital nomad and you do stuff online.
Yeah.
And when you travel, you find some jobs somewhere in Thailand, Malaysia, and other parts. It's different.
Yeah, it's not that you really have the location-independent job. It's like really depending on the location. So it's being a digital nomad is really about being location independent. But yeah, for me, it wouldn't make sense to work anywhere else because I can make a lot more money when I earn money from the Netherlands. So the good thing for me is that I make money from companies in the Netherlands and I spend it in a cheaper country mostly. So that's like, I'm lucky, but even like one of the friends we were living with last week, he's from Serbia, but he's working for a Swiss company. So he's having a really good income and he can spend a lot of money even though So that these options are there for everyone. Like don't think that, oh, you're from the Netherlands, for you it's easy, because I think there are so many, like now, there's so many options to work anywhere with any company. You just really have to I think build a network and work on like meeting people, meeting new companies, and try to work for maybe not Ukrainian companies for you guys.
And also good thing for Ukrainian people that we really interesting for other companies in the world. A lot of people really know very well how good we are. You see? So, like when you don't feel like it's strong enough to work for another company, don't be, because when they hear that they live Ukrainian, they're like, oh, that's interesting. And especially if your English is good, they know that we are more flexible than European people. European, they say, okay, this is not my job, I'm not doing that. Or this is like I'm not paid for, or this is like 5 p.m. and I'm leaving work. We are not like that. And believe me, like it's already second my job working with foreigners, and you really will enjoy working with a not Ukrainian company. This is also one of my reasons why I don't want to go back to Ukrainian company. That you will feel more respectful, more calm and well organized job. So there are less tasks like for yesterday or for right now or for like in 1 second, and nobody calling you all the time asking like where it will be done, or like no stress. It's like everything, you understand that in remote work you have to plan it a bit in advance. So you have everything planned, you have everything discussed, and you just follow what you discussed in a very comfortable way for everyone. And it's super comfortable to work like this.
So how did you find the job? That's interesting.
I told her on my speech.
Oh, okay, sorry, yeah. This was, yeah.
What do you do?
I work for BotPress. Actually, this is my colleague here, Losha. We work together.
You what, please?
It's a company called BotPress. It's an open source platform for creating bots. And I'm there as a project manager, but also I do a lot of other stuff because with like a lot of things, small things, marketing and like communication with the partners and like different because the company is super small. And I found a job. I can repeat to you briefly that. So I choose the direction of IT and I started research about this a lot and I started to learn about this a lot and I found out about chatbots and I started to do like a lot of research on that topic and then I went for courses to finish project management. Then I realized that actually everything in project management is everything what I did in my previous jobs. Like it's completely same, just the subject is different. So and then, but for companies, I was not qualified enough, so I couldn't ask for a lot of money and good position. So that's why I put myself to the market in my age of 30 last year. So like I want to be intern for less amount. Internship for other countries doesn't mean that you work for free. They still have to pay you, but what they pay it's enough for living in Ukraine. But then I found my company and I really found we went really well with each other and they just stayed there. It's already one year, so I found it last year.
And I think like the most success stories that I heard from other nomads is like creating a passive income with something and making sure that you can scale your business. Like if you do something that you really have to do all the time to make an income, then it will always stay a struggle. So like if I create an online course and I can sell it even when I'm like somewhere where I don't have Wi-Fi and it's still going on, that's the main goal for most nomads. So I actually spoke with people who work like 4 hours a month. Like we say like the 4-hour work week, but you can even do that a month. Like I know this Russian girl, Julia. She had like a business in tattoos, like golden tattoos.
She's from Russia.
She's from Russia
and living in the USA.
She's living in Los Angeles
and she's
now.
24.
And she's running this business, like selling tattoos online. People can just make them totally like customized. And she's actually hiring a lot of people from Ukraine. I think she has like 5 people from Ukraine working for her. And she doesn't have to do anything actually. Everyone is doing the job for her. She built the company in 1 year, I think. And now she's actually building another company because she has free time. So it's good that you can build something that you don't have to do all the time. Like if I could sell myself as a copywriter, and I still do that now and then to make a bit of extra income. But I always have to do the work myself. But if I give a training, I go somewhere, I earn like the same amount of money in one evening as what I do normally for a month work maybe. Or if I do the online course and you can keep selling it, that's what you want to do. Creative writing, like creating your business story. So that's what I train companies in.
What about networking? Does it help you? Does traveling help you to network?
Absolutely. Like if you're in the right places and you meet a lot of digital nomads, it's like I know now maybe like 400 or 500 digital nomads around the world. So wherever I go, I know people. Like it doesn't matter where I go. So I go to Budapest next week and I give a talk there or a training. And I probably will be in the fall in Valencia to give a training. And I just really make use of my network. I tell them like, hey, I'm planning to go there maybe next month or whatever. This is what I can do. Can you use your network so that you can organize an event for us? Like that's what you did now here for tonight. So yeah, but like
using network.
Just use your network and don't be shy with that. Like people really want to help you. If you have an idea,
but
just
thanks to Igor for organizing everything.
Yeah.
Igor, please. Thanks, Igor.
He doesn't speak English, right?
Yeah, he doesn't speak English, so he doesn't understand.
He knows his name.
Игорь, мы тебе сказали спасибо за организацию.
So yeah, really like build a network and make use of it.
And also you got clients. Like now I know that if we need a copywriter for our clients, Like Jantina knows she's really good writer. I mean, I've read what you. I really like the way, and we even talked. I remember in Santorini actually that you would really like to write scripts for chatbots because it's really interesting for her. And like so now I know that I know one copywriter that I can ask to help if I need a copywriter for chatbots for one of the clients. And this is like also people that when they need someone, they do not search in Upwork or something. They are like, oh, I know this guy, and yeah, they're like, oh, I know this guy, or they post in a like community group. For example, we have now in a nomad cruise community, the nomads they just post there, hey, I need a person to do this work. Can you please advise me? So and this is also hard. And the funny thing also with meeting people, last year came to, I like in every city I come, I meet people there. I came in Sri Lanka and made a post that I'm in Sri Lanka. And then one girl from Latvia, she was like, oh sorry, from Estonia, she was like, oh my god, I just arrived here. So she was there only 2 weeks and we got like super amazing time with her and her friends. And then I moved to Nepal, and one of my friends, she worked with me in community management. She just moved, she changed her job and moved to Nepal as well. And like in every city, and like from Thailand, I don't talk even because like you meet people anyway. And especially in Chiang Mai, when you come there, or Berlin, when I came to Berlin, you just meet like 10 nomads because there are a lot of people from Germany. They're like, you understand that they
You want to avoid them at a certain point, like, oh, fuck nomads.
You understand that like people, like the world is covered by nomads, even though you don't see them, but they are there. What else?
Are there any famous digital nomads that if you say everyone knows them or
Team first.
Yeah, I think
Timothy
he's like
Ferris.
the most famous
Team first.
from the
Got it.
4 hour work.
Yeah, also I think in communities, like one person, Johnny FD,
Yeah,
like everyone knows him. Like,
and Johannes.
and Johannes, who is the organizer of Nomad Group, like everyone knows them. Johnny FD because he's a blogger, because he's video blogger, he was a bit annoying and asshole a couple of years, and now he's super cool guy. And
Totally objective this.
I mean, it's like I think he did it for marketing because everyone knows him now, and he's super successful. And he doesn't work for last year. I met him like 2.5 years ago in Thailand, and now we've been in a nomad cruise, and then in Bulgaria, and then he built a business with a drop shipping. Like online course and affiliate marketing and drop shipping. Amazon is like top what you can hear. Digital marketing also. And now he didn't work for 1 year because he doesn't have to. He's just traveled. Yeah.
And that's the same with Johannes.
With the same with Johannes, he would build the business and he just organized this nomad cruise and yeah, but the thing is like he still works because the nature of us, it's not be lazy and doing nothing all the time. We actually, when you don't do anything for half of the year, like you really want to do like
something.
yeah, you
Give
just
me a job.
first of all, like when you do nothing, you have a lot of ideas coming up in your mind. It's just like you want to do that, you want to do that, you want to do that, and then you just like leave me alone and you just want to do my stuff. You know, so it's really good motivation. Yeah. From source of income, also like developers is one of the highest. Also programming, digital marketing,
Digital
SEO.
coaching.
Huh?
Digital coaching.
Virtual assistants as well. Like almost anyone can be a virtual assistant.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to get into. Do you have a clue what that is?
But I wouldn't promote that because it's really shitty.
No, I wouldn't. But yeah, I know. But to start with, it would be good because it's like easy to get into.
Yeah.
So you're like someone's personal assistant, but then online. So you do the shitty tasks like that no one wants to do, but still it gives you an income and you can work together.
E-commerce is super like Amazon and e-commerce but selling in US is super popular and a lot of people have a success with that. We have some I've met personally also researching this way on a site, and I also met that it's not that easy for Ukrainians as for European. The European is like everything for them is open, they just register and that's it. And we really have to, like with the payments, with this Payoneer and companies, we really need to be very flexible and search other things. But it's also possible if you build e-commerce that's selling, for example, in US with a drop shipping. I mean, drop shipping is when the product, you do not send product, but the China, for example, send a product to a customer instead of like on behalf of you. So you actually just with the computer do everything. Or if you buy like products physically, you can push it on their house, and also they will do selling and sending to the clients by themselves. And also you don't even have to see your product if you are sure already that it's good.
Recently I met an Uber driver who does just selling notebooks, like laptops, to people in America, and just like doing some small job on Amazon, like taking it from China.
This is exactly
and transporting it to US.
Yeah, and
that's it.
And it's
and he drive Uber just for fun.
Oh, and for fun! Wow.
And I know one Bulgarian couple who they're digital nomads and travel, and they sell furniture for house, but they have a store in US and they collect from US people the order, and then they push to factories in US, and the factories send that to the customers. So they even after they make research, ensure that the factories are trustful, they don't do anything anymore, and they just provide the customer support and be sure that they have marketing, push like traffic and the orders enough, and then that's it. And they just, I think like 7 years already they traveling. So, what else ideas?
What is the average age of nomads?
That's actually funny because I saw one of the pictures and I was like, oh, it's. I think the last nomad cruise, the youngest was 18 probably, and the oldest was maybe in the 60s.
Yeah, 60s.
And that was on the previous cruise as well. So it's not like that there's an age
But there was
limit.
an age that you said about an age. According to this nomad cruise, the age was 31. And most of the people now, what I mean, for example, there's like 28, 30, 31, 35, like this. 32.
Most in the 30s.
So I'm 31 and I feel like more or less at the same age with everyone. Sometimes like I met like people on 22 in a nomad cruise, and I was like, my God, in my 22 I had some completely different things. Like how you even got this here, you know? I was thinking about that.
Yeah, but I feel like it's really cool to see that everything is mixed, and I can have just as a nice conversation with someone of 16 as with someone of like my own age or who's 20. It doesn't matter because everyone has the same mindset.
Couple maybe with children.
Yeah, like there were couples with children, definitely, a few of them, and like also this couple who is in their 50s or 60s, I don't know, who actually traveled the world already for 25 years. They were like probably one of the first digital nomads, and it's super cool to see that they still do it, and for them it's like so normal and it's their nature. So yeah, it's all ages.
And then one of the first who started actually to earn money with setting up the blog and online businesses, when you can imagine there were no even internet almost that days, and they were just like through the research and through self-education, through like trying, they built, and it's super cool to see how they are good together still, and they're like super free and open.
And there's one woman who has, her blog is called 60 and Me. It's maybe nice for 60 plus. But she's from the States, and she did a talk on the cruise, and it was super cool because she started blogging on a later age, and she actually blogs about
Could you repeat the name?
60 and me. Yeah. So it's all about like all her struggles and challenges as a 60-year-old woman, and she's huge in the States. She has a lot of followers, and it's so cool that she actually came to Nomad Cruise, and everyone loved her. So it's really cool to see that you can work location independent at any age. You can start anytime. Anyone from anywhere. And what is really cool, like I think there were people from over 45 or 42 countries, and so it's not just you don't have to be like, I don't know, from
You just be yourself.
yeah, it doesn't matter where you're from actually. And it's the same with age. I remember that I had this talk on one, like during dinner with one guy, and he asked my age, and I was like, I'm just curious, like why you want to know. And he didn't have an answer. I was like, because it actually doesn't matter. Like, why do people want to know age? Because it really doesn't matter, especially not when you're living in this lifestyle and everyone has the same values. I think it's way more important to ask, what do you find important in life?
For me, it's interesting because I want to know maybe it is late for me or no.
Yeah, I get your question, but like, I mean, in this community, it doesn't matter. So no, it's not late. We got all the time.
By the way, do you know a digital nomad accelerator group from? This is from Netherlands. The guy who started this group, he was going in Netherlands. Digital nomad accelerator.
But do you remember his name?
Mitchell. Mitchell Beerman.
I think I heard.
This is the guy from Netherlands. So
But he's
that's why
living in
I'm asking.
Chiang Mai, no?
No, I think no. He is in Netherlands. Because like recently he started his offline course. Because like I was attending his course during 6 months, and after this 6 months online course, he launched the offline course about digital nomad stuff, and he got a lot of students that want to know more about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
We need to.
I like writing that.
Any more questions?
Do you have some tricks how to find a place to stay? Like you say, you're using skyscraper if you want to find flight. Maybe there's some tricks how to
So
find
what we said, the
cheap.
Nomad List. That's a website, Nomad List. Sorry.
You mean place to like accommodation or just city?
If I want to have a trip for a long time.
Like
somewhere.
plan where you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I would definitely check Nomad List, right? That's like on that website you can find everything like rated, so you know like.
No, I don't think about a flat maybe.
Oh really? A flat?
Oh, I have one.
Yeah.
They like for some countries it's quite hard to find for 1-2 months because people like immigrate. They wanna for 1 year, and and Airbnb if you stay 1 month it's quite expensive. So there are some options that you kind of contact from Airbnb and you ask, especially if you go to low season. So never go in the high season. I would say like that. Even it's like in July, August, never go to Montenegro and Croatia. This is the hell, and this is like super expensive. And so you can ask the owner if you book several nights, and the rest he provide you special price if you stay 1 month. Or there are some groups, or you go to Facebook groups of the city you are going to, and there are some accommodation when private people post their apartments, or they are looking for roommates, or if they are you can search for 1 or 2 months. You can find it these groups, or there is one group also for people who are just leaving for their own apartment. This is what Boris started. Yeah. There's about the people nomads when they have apartment, they leave, they post there, and they ask people to like, you can stay in my apartment for 1 or 2 months, of course, for price, but it's much less than you would find. Sometimes you really need to search.
Also, one more option is to go somewhere using Airbnb, like for 1-2 nights, and then when you come, you talk personally to people, and you negotiate, you get the price less, and then you live.
Or what helps is
Airbnb.
And it helps as well if you pick an Airbnb that doesn't have a lot of reviews yet, and you talk to the owner, you say like, okay, I want to stay in your place, I can stay maybe for 1 month, but if you drop the price, I will give you a good review. And it works. Like, if they don't have reviews yet, that's the main thing for people having an Airbnb, they want to have reviews on the website.
And also, if you go to Asia, it's good to use Agoda. It's another website where you can find also very nice listings, apartments, hotels, and everything, but with the less price than Airbnb.
I cannot agree with this because they usually have the same as Booking.com. It never works out for me.
But I'm talking about that because
but it's better check everything what you can check, that's for sure.
I'm talking about that because when I was in Kuala Lumpur, I booked a really nice hotel apartment. It was in one of the nicest hotel in Kuala Lumpur, and it was really for it's like $50, but in a really good hotel with the direct view on the Petronas Towers.
And also, if you go to like Asia, like Thailand or Bali, or there are some places maybe it even doesn't make any sense to book in advance. You just book for several nights, and then you search, go inside of the place. You just talk to people, and they usually provide you much lower. You can negotiate.
All the time.
Especially
in Indonesia, it's nice.
Yeah.
So do you want to share your favorite places?
Favorite places? Well, Bali is for sure, but I would say that Bali now, as I can see that there are a lot of, like, I stayed in Canggu and I completely loved it because there is surfing, there is an amazing co-working space which was the most favorite, and there are amazing people there, and there's things to do and places to stay. But now there's a lot of people coming and the prices went up, and maybe I would already consider if I want to go to Bali or not. To stay, yeah, we have to finish. So Bali, my number 1. Now you?
Medellin in Colombia is amazing for digital nomads. Really love the Florianopolis in Brazil, small city at the beach. You can like go outside. It's super nice. And Cape Town, I guess.
Sorry, I forgot about Albania. I found really Albania. Really, it's Albania and Croatia was I opened that because you do not expect. I didn't expect that it would be so comfortable. The prices are quite low, especially Albania and for apartment, and you just go outside and feel really comfortable there. And it's nice nature, and yeah, it's just really feels really good there. I think we need to finish, right?
Yes. Time over.
So, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Все, большое спасибо.